This is often called the most beautiful steam locomotive ever built, the Southern Pacific Daylight. And its beauty was not decoration, it was engineering. Every line of this locomotive was shaped by a single purpose: moving passengers along the California coast faster and more comfortably than anything on rails. The big boy was steam engineered for brute power. The GS4 was steam engineered for speed. This is the GS4, and what is under its streamlined skirting is a steam locomotive optimized from the wheels up for high-speed passenger service. This is the engineering that made steam beautiful and fast at the same time, and why it still runs today. Steam, engineered for pure speed. In the 1930s, the Southern Pacific ran passenger trains along the California coast between Los Angeles and San Francisco. It wanted a train that would define the route: fast, comfortable, and stunning to look at. It called that train the Daylight. To pull the Daylight, the Southern Pacific ordered a series of streamlined 484 locomotives from the Lima Locomotive Works. The GS designation stood for Golden State, or General Service. The locomotives were fast enough for premier passenger work, but versatile enough for other duties. The GS4, introduced in 1941, was the definitive version. It combined a genuinely fast, powerful steam locomotive with one of the most celebrated paint schemes in railroad history: the red, orange, and black of the Daylight. But the styling, as beautiful as it was, sat on top of serious high-speed steam engineering. The GS4 was built to run fast, and everything under the skirting was designed to make that possible. The GS4 used a 484 wheel arrangement, the northern type: 4 leading wheels to guide the locomotive into curves at speed, 8 driving wheels for power, and 4 trailing wheels to support a large firebox. This configuration was the standard for high-speed American passenger locomotives, and the GS4 was one of its finest expressions. The driving wheels were 80 inches in diameter. Large drivers, size for speed. A larger driving wheel travels further with each revolution, which allows higher speed at a given rate of piston movement. Where the big boy used small drivers for tractive effort, the GS4 used large drivers for velocity. This is the fundamental engineering trade-off in steam locomotive design. Small drivers give you tractive effort for hauling heavy loads up grades. Large drivers give you speed for running fast on the flat. The GS4's 80-inch drivers were a clear statement of purpose. This locomotive was built to run fast with passenger trains, not to grind freight over mountains. The GS4 used roller bearings on its axles, reducing friction and enabling sustained high-speed operation with less maintenance. The running gear was balanced for smooth running at speed, critical for a passenger locomotive, where a rough ride would be felt by every passenger in the train. The GS4 could comfortably run at high speed. On the Daylight schedule along the coast, it maintained fast, reliable timings that made the train one of the premier passenger services in the American West. The locomotive was engineered to hold those speeds day after day without strain. The cylinders and valve gear were sized in time for high-speed running. At speed, a steam locomotive's valve gear must admit and exhaust steam with precise timing, or the locomotive loses efficiency and power. The GS4's drivetrain was engineered to deliver its power efficiently across the high-speed range where it spent most of its working life. But large drivers alone do not make a locomotive fast. You need a boiler that can feed them steam at speed, continuously. The GS4's boiler was large and engineered to produce steam continuously at high output. Sustained high-speed running consumes steam rapidly. A boiler that could not keep up would leave the locomotive gasping, losing speed as the engineer opened the throttle. The GS4's boiler was built to keep the large cylinders fed at speed. The boiler operated at 300 pounds per square inch, a high pressure that gave the locomotive strong performance across its speed range. Combined with a large firebox and a mechanical stoker, the boiler could sustain the steam output that high-speed passenger running demanded. The firebox was large, supported by the 4 trailing wheels of the northern arrangement. It burned oil rather than coal. The Southern Pacific fired most of its locomotives with oil, which was readily available in California, and simplified the firing process. Oil firing gave clean, controllable heat, well-suited to the smooth operation a premier passenger train required. The streamlining was more than styling. The skirting and casing were shaped to reduce air resistance at speed and to present a clean, modern appearance that matched the Daylight's premium image. The famous red, orange, and black livery flowed along the streamlined form, making the GS4 one of the most photographed locomotives in American history. The skirting covered the running gear along the lower body, giving the locomotive its smooth, enclosed appearance. Like the Class J, the GS4 balanced the streamlined styling against the practical need to access and maintain the machinery underneath. Panels could be removed for servicing. The beauty was engineered to coexist with the reality of operating a steam locomotive. The result was a locomotive that was genuinely fast and genuinely beautiful, where the two qualities reinforced each other. The streamlining served the speed justified the premium service, and the premium service justified the stunning livery. Every element of the GS4 pointed toward the same goal. The GS4 produced strong horsepower and could accelerate a heavy passenger train to high speed and hold it. It was not the most powerful steam locomotive ever built. It did not need to be. It was engineered for exactly what the Daylight required, and it delivered it beautifully. The GS4 defined the Daylight for over a decade. And then, like all steam, it faced the diesel. Through the 1940s and into the 1950s, the GS4 was the face of Southern Pacific passenger service. It hauled the Coast Daylight along the ocean, the San Joaquin Daylight through the Central Valley, and other premier trains. The red, orange, and black locomotives became icons of West Coast railroading. The Daylight was one of the most successful passenger trains in America. The combination of the scenic coast route, the premium service, and the stunning streamlined locomotives made it a train people sought out for the experience of the journey itself. The GS4 was central to that appeal, but the same forces that ended steam everywhere reached the Southern Pacific. Diesels were cheaper to operate and maintain. Passenger traffic declined as automobiles and airlines took over. Through the 1950s, diesels replaced the GS4 on the Daylight and the railroad's other passenger trains. The GS4s were retired as dieselization advanced. Most were scrapped. Their streamlined beauty was no protection against the economics that ended steam. Of the entire class, only one GS4 survived. Number 4,449. 449 was preserved and displayed in a park in Portland, Oregon. For years, it sat outdoors. Then in 1975, it was selected to pull the American Freedom Train, a touring train celebrating the nation's bicentennial. 449 was restored to operation, repainted in red, white, and blue, and toured the country. After the Freedom Train, 449 was restored to its original Daylight colors and has operated as an excursion locomotive ever since. It is one of the most beloved operating steam locomotives in America, and when it runs in full Daylight livery, it demonstrates exactly what made the GS4 special. The GS4 represents a specific steam philosophy, engineering for speed and beauty rather than raw power. It stands in deliberate contrast to the Big Boy, where the Big Boy used small drivers and enormous scale to move freight over mountains. The GS4 used large drivers and streamlined elegance to move passengers along the coast at speed. Both are steam locomotives. Both burn fuel to boil water to drive pistons, but they are engineered for opposite purposes, and their engineering choices reflect that. The GS4's 80-inch drivers, its high-pressure boiler, its roller bearings, and its streamlined form all point towards speed and comfort. And the GS4 makes an argument that the extreme power locomotives cannot. It argues that engineering beauty is not separate from engineering function. The GS4 is celebrated as one of the most beautiful locomotives ever built. But that beauty emerged from engineering the locomotive well for its purpose. The streamlining served the speed. The proportions served the performance. The beauty was a consequence of good engineering, not a distraction from it. When 449 runs today, it is not just a beautiful machine. It is a demonstration that a steam locomotive engineered for high-speed passenger service could be fast, reliable, efficient, and gorgeous all at once, and that these qualities were not in tension, but in harmony. The GS4 was engineered to make a journey along the California coast into an experience worth having for its own sake. That goal shaped every element of the locomotive: the speed, the smoothness, the streamlining, and the color. And it's succeeded so completely that 449 still draws crowds decades after the daylight itself stopped running. What is under the GS4's streamlined skirting is steam engineering optimized for pure speed. Large drivers, a strong boiler, precision running gear, and a form shaped to move fast and look beautiful doing it. It is the counterpoint to the big boy and proof that the golden age of steam was also the golden age of engineering steam for whatever purpose a railroad could imagine. The Southern Pacific GS4 Daylight is one of the most beautiful steam locomotives ever built, and its beauty was engineering, a locomotive optimized from the wheels up for high-speed passenger service. It is the speed and elegance counterpoint to the big boy's brute freight power. This is part 7 of our What's Under the Hood series. The earlier videos covered the big boy, the GG1, the F unit, the K4, the Class J, and the GP38-2 and SD40-2. All are linked in the description. Next, our final video in this series covers the Pennsylvania Railroad T1 Duplex, the most ambitious and controversial steam locomotive ever built in America, and a cautionary tale about engineering that reached too far. Subscribe so you do not miss it. There is more American railroad engineering to explore, and we are working through it one locomotive at a time.